What's the correct way to Bucha or to puja or worship or rever a particular amulet or a kind of amulet? A lot of people have these questions and get pretty confused about it, which I understand because it is pretty confusing unless you study so much that you see through the thicket of it all and get the basic gist of it. But basically, there are many, many different methods and ways according to different tamra and different lineages or different schools of sorcery or of incantation, methods of incantation. And so there is no actual particular method. Rather, there are many different methods. Many of them are actually interchangeable and can be used either or both or all. And so, for example, it might get quite confusing to read different pages about the rules for bringing necromantic or pry type amulets into the house, or ghosts and spirits, where in many cases one is told that you should inform the local spirits and devas, the local deities and the inhabitant spirits, of the arrival of a new presence, a new spiritual presence, and that you should light so many incense sticks or offer so many flowers, or what kind of food you should offer, and so on. And some you might read, you should offer 12 flowers. They could be red or they could be white, or they could be both mixed together. Some will say 5 flowers, some will say 9 incense sticks, some will say 1 single incense, one will say 16, some might say 16, 15 and 14 in 3 different stages, and so on and so on and so on. And the truth is, you can do any and all of these, or you can just do what I call astral magic, which means you imagine the whole ritual in your visualization, you really mean it, and you enact the very same ritual but on the astral plane, which is precisely where the devas are going to experience it anyway. And so any incense you might burn or offerings you might give here, theoretically, are transported to the astral plane, and everything on the astral plane it's just below the mental plane, and it's created by thoughts, and it's luminous. And so you can just do it virtually if you want, which is advisable in the case of people who live in apartment blocks and don't have a garden or a place where they can burn 16 incense sticks. As to burning incense, there are incenses which don't make smoke, or make very, very little smoke, and are just very aromatic. And so you can look for those when you feel you need to burn incense in the house. But there are basically, as for kata, seeing as I took necromancy as the one of the examples to show, there are usually basically a few ancient traditional kata from the grimoires, the Tamra, Puran, the ancient grimoires, which apply to all forms of reanimation for necromantic or animist charms or necromantic, anything that is supposed to have the spirit of an entity dwelling within. There are various incantations, which is the Pluktatsi, Liaktatsi, call the 4 elements, Pluktatsi, invoke them, imbue them, Nuntatsi, and then to bring them to life, to awaken them within the object. And you have the Akan Samsip song, which is it's an incantation which lists all the various elements, constituents within a living body, which would be slime and spit and feces and guts and bone marrow and brains and hair, fur, skin, meat, muscle, fat, bone and so on, nails and so on, is split into 32 parts, which, along with jhanic meditation, absorption meditation, should be able to achieve the imbuing of those elements, constituents, components within the effigy. And then there are to react blue, to reanimate and to call the mind of the entity to listen to you, and so on. And so those basic kata are the truly ancient and original versions which speak with the dead and the spirits, and which reanimate inanimate objects to imbue a living spirit within. And so you shouldn't get so detailed or so specific about wanting to know a specific method for each specific amulet, because actually there are just tiny variations, and if you stick to the basic methods, it's simple, it's effective, and if any of them are powerful, those are the ones which are the most powerful. So that's just, I think, my third now podcast for Amulet FAQ, questions and answers. Hope this one answers some of your doubts and wanderings when trying to figure out the meaning of ritual magic with amulets. This is John Spencer for the Buddha Magic Project, signing off.